Unfortunately, I did not do the recording of with the beginning of this rail, but I'll just carry on because there's going to be another one after this, so hopefully I can give some tips. I actually messed up over here. I have to move this one over a little bit. That, for some reason, as you guys know, when you do some fabrication, mistakes happen. So I'm going to cut this tack out and shove this over so this way it's all nice and straight. And then start welding in the rest of these over here. Obviously, you want to make sure your PPE is all clean. So I'm going to wipe this down inside here with an alcohol pad. Wipe. Just because of all the dust and stuff like that. Even if I put it in a bag, it still gets shit, and plus you're breathing your own shit in here all the time. So I'm gonna wipe this all out. You see, as you can see, wipe her out good. I moved everything over. I already, the camera probably won't pick it up, but my line's still there because I'm coming 1.75 down from the lip there. And since this is cut at a 50-degree angle, you have to take consideration with the plate that's going on there. So you want to make sure you get that 1.75 from the correct distance down. So I'm going to end up cleaning up these old ugly tacks here. So this way I can put a new tack in, make sure, once again, everything's lined up. So double, triple check. Saves yourself a headache of rework like what I'm doing right now. Now I like to use the rock mount flappers. I'm going to be using an 80 grit to clean up those tacks there. If you're able to ever get your hands on these, I would definitely get some. These last forever. Well, I shouldn't say forever, but a lot longer than all the other flappers. And believe it or not, this one's been being used on the previous rail I did and this rail here. Great flappers. As you were able to see, it didn't take very long to clean that up. After, when I retack this all in, I'm going to, or I should say after, and this is all tacked in and all the other ones are all tacked in and welded in, I'll come back and everything will be all cleaned up nice and neat. I gotta take down all these tacks before I weld, so let's fire up the welder. Alright, now since that's all tacked up, that one that I had to fix, I put it on this table. This isn't my official weld table, but this rail is like too long for this table over here, so I don't recommend doing it this way. I would do it off of steel table, but I have to make what I have. I have my spacers all in. These were all milled down to exactly what I need, so this way I have my proper distance and everything's all true. I checked once again to make sure that all these posts will all line up at its 40-degree angle, which that's what this is going to end up being, but all the cuts are at 50. I'm just going to let everything cool. I'm not going to take the clamps off because I don't want the welds to pull with each other and have warpage. So I'm just going to let this cool for about 10-15 minutes because it's kind of cool outside. Now on this opposite side, I have a slight little gap in between. We'll talk about a 1/16 or so, maybe even less than that. But this is going to be where the wood rail is going to be, so the rail will kind of be sucked into it a little bit. And just in case if you're curious, this is what I've been using for my generator since I don't have a 220 in my shop, or 240. So, and this has been working pretty good. I've even did a portable job just with it. I mean, it works. So I'm gonna fire it up. Obviously, it's loud. So I'm gonna. Overall, it's coming out real nice. It's all squared. Just got to clean up a couple welds and make it look nice and pretty. And then I'm gonna have to move on to the foot pads, clean these all up. I don't like all that mill scale on there. And then weld these onto the posts. Now with these all cleaned up, I can put them on the posts so I can weld them up, or tack them in and then weld them up. I also want to show you something real quick. You see how it's all sitting down nice and flush? It's like that on both sides. Hopefully you can see that. It all comes down to how you tack. So for example, tack over here and then I tack over there to keep everything straight. Or else if you tack and you let it cool off too much, you're gonna get a gap on the opposite side. So that's usually where a lot of times people struggle at. So it's all about how you tack. Now I got my plates all cut to size and I slotted them. Yes, this is an overkill slot, but the hardware that I got for my last handrail job for a client, Amazon sent me the wrong inserts and I didn't have time to wait. So I'm gonna use up the rest of that. Usually you would want it more narrower. So basically this would be the top. This would go like so. And then this one will go like so. Also regarding these pads that I use to take off the mill scale and paint off the stuff, these here you don't have to sit there and just bog down and hog on like you would like with a flapper. Let this do the work. First of all, these will last a lot longer, and second and most importantly, the mill scale will come off so much easier. I got the mounting plates for the oak handrail all situated. It's all welded up. This one here had a little warpage, so I'm gonna I got this all painted, primed, all that good stuff. Right now, I'm moved on to the handrail. Start filling in the holes, getting it all cleaned up. They're gonna actually do the staining, so I gotta make sure everything's all top notch. That was the oak right there. So I'm going to be using another piece for the other part of this rail, which I will be moving on once this is all complete.